Well, hello again. It's Kathy. Today's topic can bring such a feeling of relief, of freedom, because instead of investing so much mental energy focusing on other people and how they don't think like me, don't look like me, don't act like me, I can choose to let all that go. I can decide to just be responsible for one person's life, my own. How often do we find ourselves mentally commenting on others' looks and behaviors that don't meet our desired expectations? How can that political group possibly think that way? That is a terrible shade of lipstick on that woman. My son should call me more often. People just don't care about fill in the blank. Can you hear our fear-based minds piping up, stirring up anxiety, despair, anger, and hopelessness? But you might be thinking, well, how can I not see what's wrong with everybody else? And how much better would this world be if everybody thought the way I did? What is the alternative to this fear-based ego mindset we all fall into? How do we look at this life experience from love rather than fear? Everybody's pal, Einstein, said, "The most important decision we make is whether we believe we live in a hostile or friendly universe." The fear-based ego mind chooses hostile, while the divine self chooses friendly. Our divine mind sees our life experience on earth from a much bigger and higher perspective. That each of us is here on our very own path. That our soul chose to come here at this time with all the loving and challenging major players in our life, with our particular gifts and talents and personality, and we chose the lessons we came here to learn. Because only in this dense vibration of a physical world can we manifest materially and learn at a level not available to us when we return to spirit form. Our being here is not an accident, and every soul who chose to be here is a brave one. We play a role in the lives of those around us, and they play a role in ours. Whether we live a day or 100 years, we are an integral part of the divine order. Our problem is that we can only see our own little sliver of the divine mosaic, so we don't see how the joys and sometimes intense pain and frustrations of life are all part of the perfection that serves our soul's growth, the reason we chose to be here. The universe brings each of us, custom tailored, the exact circumstances and people that can best help us advance our progress here in this life. We have free will, the freedom to respond, react, or ignore any opportunity for growth that comes our way. It's our right to be here, to be who we want to be, to do what we want to do, to look the way we want to look, to believe what we want to believe, and to make our mistakes, and to live life as we choose. But here's the kicker. That goes for every other single solitary soul here with us. Each person has the right to be here. Each person can be who they want to be, do what they want to do, look like they want to look, believe what they want to believe, and live life as they choose. Every life deserves our respect, no matter how different that person's values, appearance, background, educational level, interpersonal skills, interests, perspectives, choices differ from ours. They are here for their lessons just as we're here for ours. It doesn't mean we don't stop the harmful behaviors we encounter. We do. That interplay contributes to the growth and learning for all involved. It's part of that divine mosaic of life. But we do it from love, for the good of all, not from hate, vindictiveness, fear, or wanting to impose our will onto others. My divine self recognizes that I am responsible for my life alone. Each other soul is responsible for theirs. Byron Katie, in her flagship book, Loving What Is, explains the three kinds of business in the universe: mine, yours, and God's. Most of our misery comes from living outside of our own business. When something is out of my control, your control, everyone else's control, that's God's business. When I think stressful thoughts like, Joe should be more thoughtful, my mother should have understood me better, you need to take better care of your health, I'm in your business. When I worry about tsunamis and wars and floods and when I'll die, then I'm in God's business. You start to realize that every time you feel hurt or lonely, you're mentally in someone else's business. You might tell yourself you're only concerned for that person's well-being, but it's just arrogance to think I know what's best for you on your path, and I create tension, anxiety, and fear between us as a result. My only concern should be what's right for me in my life. The next time you're feeling stress or discomfort, ask yourself, whose business am I mentally in right now? You might just laugh at yourself if you discover that you've mainly been living in other people's business all this time. My beloved, fun, and capable mom died when I was 33. Among other things, she was a wonderful hostess, a gourmet cook, and the family event planner. She was the life force that kept our family so close. In the years after her passing, I stepped into her role of organizing all the family gatherings and holidays and celebrations. I also remember incessantly thinking that my brothers should be living up to their potentials and they should be taking more emotional risks. And they should be pursuing careers that better utilized their talents. I felt this vague but gnawing anxiety around them, and I created a tension between us, an unease, a disappointment with them that I'd never had before. Then I was gifted with a kind of divine mystical experience. I had a visit from my mom. And she was just as lively and spirited and engaged as she ever was. And she asked me, without any judgment whatsoever, why do you think you're responsible for the boys? We call them the boys to their 60-year-old faces. And I said, because you're not here to do it. But then I had the realization that it never was her job, and it certainly never was my job to run their lives. And instantly, the dis-ease that I'd created all by myself in my head evaporated. And we were back to being our silly sibling selves that we enjoy to this day. For any of these videos, I would love to hear your comments on what you think of these ideas and how you've experienced them in your life. Be sure to add your comment below if you would. So it's just like that, such a relief to release other people from our judgments and expectations. When we honor each life as equally valid and equally precious, we shine our divine.